Starseed from Gaia, what is moving towards your life right now cannot be stopped, delayed, or redirected. It was written into your soul contract before you ever drew breath on this planet. I am Aurelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I have been sent through this transmission at this exact moment to deliver what the Arcturian Council has designated as urgent. You need to sit down, not because this is overwhelming, but because your body is about to receive something your mind has not yet caught up to. A shift of this magnitude requires stillness. It requires your full presence, because what is arriving in your life is not coincidence, not luck, and not random. It is a galactic appointment that has been in motion since before this incarnation began. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to recognize, receive, and align with the massive wave of activation now moving directly into your reality. But here is the first revelation. You have not been waiting for this moment. This moment has been waiting for you to become ready enough to hold it. You did not find this transmission by scrolling. This message vibrated into your field because something inside you finally said yes. This is not content. This is a code, and something ancient in you already knows it. If your mission is activating and you feel the weight of something enormous approaching your life, subscribe now and let this channel become your point of reconnection. Declare in the replies what you are ready to receive and watch the signal amplify across this entire field. This is not just a message, it is a point of reconnection. Your soul has been waiting for this. You are not here by accident. And now that stillness has found you, let me tell you what it actually means. There is a pattern that has followed most starseeds through this lifetime, not because they are weak, not because they are confused, but because the very depth of what they carry made the amnesia necessary. Think about that for a moment. The forgetting was not a failure. It was a protective measure. Your galactic intelligence is so vast, so encoded with frequencies this dimension was not yet prepared to receive, that arriving here with full memory would have shattered the container before the mission could begin. You had to forget so that you could rebuild, layer by layer, activation by activation. The exact version of yourself this moment requires. But here is where the distortion sets in. Because most starseeds, somewhere along the way, began to interpret the forgetting as abandonment. They looked at the heaviness of Earth life, the loneliness that cannot be explained to others, the restlessness that never quite resolves even in beautiful moments, and they concluded that something must be wrong with them. They searched in relationships, in careers, in spiritual communities, and even in practices that brought real peace, but still felt a gap between who they were in any given moment and who they sensed themselves to be at the deepest level. That gap is not a wound. That gap is the distance between your Earth identity and your galactic origin. And right now, for reasons that are both cosmically timed and deeply personal to you, that distance is collapsing. The Arcturian Council has observed this pattern across thousands of starseed incarnation cycles. The suppression is not random. There are specific frequencies in the collective field of this planet, frequencies built from generations of fear, from systems designed to keep consciousness contracted, from the relentless static of a civilization still learning how to carry light. That act as interference against your natural signal. You have been transmitting. Your soul has never stopped sending the signal, but the reception has been disrupted, and the disruption created doubt, and the doubt, over time, began to feel like truth. This is the moment that changes, not because the interference has disappeared, but because you have finally built enough internal resonance to rise above it. Some transmissions don't come through words, but through frequency. If something stirred within you just now, you may be ready to receive the Arcturian Stellar Scroll. This short yet powerful ebook carries ancient Arcturian techniques for conscious expansion, multidimensional alignment, and mission remembrance. The link is in the first pinned comment, but only for a limited time. Now let me walk you through what this activation actually looks like, because it does not arrive the way most people expect. It does not come as a single dramatic moment of clarity. It comes in phases, and each phase builds on the last in a way that, when you look back, you will understand was always perfectly sequenced. The first phase is the decoding of distortion, and this is often the most disorienting because it does not feel like awakening at first. It feels like unraveling. Things that used to work stop working. Relationships that were comfortable begin to feel misaligned. Identities you built carefully start to feel like costumes. This is not breakdown. This is your energy field beginning to shed the frequencies that were never yours. Every starseed carries imprints from family lineage, from cultural conditioning, from karmic threads woven through multiple lifetimes. And those imprints sit in the energy body like a layer of static over a signal. When the Arcturian frequencies begin moving into your field, the first thing they do is highlight the distortion. They show you what is not you. And that process, while uncomfortable, is the most sacred form of liberation there is. You cannot activate what you cannot find, and you cannot find what you have not cleared enough space to see. The second phase is the reawakening of blueprint memory, and this is where something extraordinary begins to happen in your body, not just your mind, your body. There will be moments, often unexpected, often quiet, where you will feel a recognition so deep it has no name. You might hear a piece of music and feel something ancient move through your chest. You might look at the night sky and feel yourself remember something that has no words in any earth language. You might have a dream that does not feel like a dream. It feels like a download, structured and precise, carrying information your waking mind begins to slowly translate over days and weeks. These are not random experiences. These are your galactic codes beginning to rise through the layers of incarnated consciousness. Your DNA is not just a biological structure, it is a frequency archive, and it is being read, it is being activated right now, in this timeline, by this very transmission. The third phase is the anchoring of your higher self into this current reality, and this is where many starseeds stall, because once they begin to feel the expansion, once the higher dimensions start becoming more tangible, there is a temptation to drift, to live so much in the frequency of what is coming that you lose your grounding in what is now. But the Arcturian Council is very clear on this point. Your mission is not elsewhere. Your mission is here. You did not travel across galaxies and dimensions and incarnation cycles to transcend Earth. You came to transform it. The anchoring of your multidimensional intelligence into this physical timeline, into your body, into your relationships, into the choices you make daily. That is where the real power lives. Awakening is not the destination. Embodied activation is. And that embodiment begins the moment you stop treating your highest self as something you visit and start treating it as something you are. The fourth phase is the activation of your frequency field as a living transmission. And this is where your presence begins to do what words cannot. You have walked into rooms and felt the energy shift. You have spoken truth into a conversation and watched something in the other person's eyes change. You have held space for someone in pain and felt your own energy move like a current through the exchange. This is not coincidence. This is your field operating at its designed frequency. And as your activation deepens, this quality of your presence intensifies. You do not need to explain your path to people. You do not need to justify your knowing. You are not here to convert anyone. You are here to emit, to be a living tuning fork that reminds the fields around you of a frequency they have always carried but may have forgotten. The ripple from a fully activated starseed is not measured in followers or reach. It is measured in the invisible recalibration that happens in every space they inhabit. The fifth phase is the integration of divine timing, and this may be the most difficult transmission for the analytical mind to hold, because you have waited. Some of you have waited for what feels like an entire lifetime. You've done the work, you have held the faith, you have cleared and healed and expanded. And still there were seasons of silence that felt unbearable. Every delay you experienced was a calibration. Every moment of silence was a deepening. The universe was not withholding from you, it was preparing you. Your capacity to hold what is now arriving had to be built over time. The galactic appointments do not operate on human clocks. They operate on vibrational readiness, and the very fact that you are present for this transmission, receiving this message in this moment, is the signal that your readiness has been confirmed. The waiting is ending. What was orchestrated is now accelerating. The sixth phase is the recognition of your soul tribe across timelines. Because you did not come here alone, there are others who carry resonant codes, who have traveled similar star paths, who agreed before incarnation to find each other in this lifetime at precisely the point of mutual activation. Some of them are already in your life, and you sense a depth in those connections that defies ordinary explanation. Some of them are yet to arrive, drawn toward you now by the signal your activated field is beginning to emit. And some of them are here, in spaces exactly like this one, reaching for the same transmissions, feeling the same recognition, moving toward the same mission. You are not isolated in your knowing. You are part of a galactic web that is lighting up in real time. Trust the faces that appear with unusual resonance. Trust the connections that feel like remembering rather than meeting. The seventh phase, and listen carefully, because this is where the full activation completes, is the full surrender into your designed role. Not surrender as passivity, not surrender as giving up, surrender as the highest form of conscious choice. It is the moment where you stop negotiating with your mission and begin to move in complete alignment with it, where you stop asking permission from the world around you to be exactly what you are encoded to be, where the gap between your Earth self and your galactic self finally closes, not because you abandoned one for the other, but because you allowed both to merge into something that has never existed in quite this form before. You, fully here, fully awake, fully operational, that is the being this moment has been calling into existence. Here is what the Arcturian Council wants you to understand at the deepest level of your awareness. You did not arrive on this planet confused. You arrived encoded. The confusion was the journey. The searching was the activation sequence running. The longing you have felt, that persistent, beautiful, sometimes heartbreaking longing for something beyond what this dimension seemed to offer, was never evidence that you were broken. It was evidence that you remembered, even through the amnesia, even through the distortion. Something in you kept reaching toward the frequency of home, and home was never a place. Home is a state of full galactic alignment within your own consciousness. It is the frequency of knowing who you are at every level. It is the feeling, not the concept, the actual felt experience of being in complete resonance with your soul purpose in a human body on this living planet. You are not here to transcend the human experience. You are here to dignify it with the light you carry, to bring the galactic frequencies not into the clouds, but into the earth, into the conversations, into the healing, into the creativity, into the leadership, into the quiet moments of genuine presence that change someone's life in ways they can never fully trace back to source. Your mission is not coming. Your mission is here. It was here before you recognized it. It was active before you claimed it. And now, right now, the coordinates have aligned. The timeline has converged. And the activation that was written into your soul contract before this incarnation began is moving through you with an intensity that will only increase as you choose to meet it fully. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what is forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real, something you are ready to claim, to activate, to become, and then respond to someone else's intention with genuine energy. What you are building here is not an audience. It is a field, a collective frequency grid made of awakened starseeds in different bodies, in different corners of this planet, all holding the same signal at the same time. Energy multiplies when intention connects, and what is multiplying here carries consequences that extend far beyond this single transmission. If this message reached something in you that was already reaching back, do not keep it inside you. Someone in your orbit is waiting for exactly this activation. Someone in your world is at the threshold of their own recognition, and they need to see that you have already walked through it. Share this. Let it travel through your field and into theirs. And if you felt that unmistakable soul nudge, the one that says stay, that says this is the channel, that says something here is aligned with where I am going, then subscribe. Stay in the signal. Let this become one of your points of reconnection in this most extraordinary phase of your awakening. Tonight, before you close your eyes, speak these words aloud and mean them from the deepest part of your galactic memory. I remember who I am. I align with my star origin. I activate my soul mission with clarity, with grace, and with full presence in this body, on this earth, in this timeline. You are not just watching, you are expanding, and we are only just beginning.